All right, here we go.
Hi there, everybody. We are here live from Disability Hub MN. We're going to give people just a few seconds to get logged in here with us. This is our very first live stream with Disability Hub MN, so we just wanted to say hello and welcome to anybody who's watching. We do apologize. We don't have an ASL interpreter this time, but we are planning on making that available for future live events, and we will have some closed captioning on the recording. So I just want to start and introduce myself. My name is Lauren, and I work with Disability Hub MN. I am currently, oh, I'm muted, it looks like.
I think we can hear you okay.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All righty. So my name's Lauren. I work with Disability Hub MN. I am currently wearing a purple shirt with Disability Hub MN logo. I have brown hair and I'm wearing a black pair of glasses. And here with me is Thabiso, and he will introduce himself. So go ahead, Thabiso.
Hello, everybody. My name is Thabiso. I'm an options counselor with Disability Hub MN. And just currently at this moment, I am also wearing an awesome purple Disability Hub shirt. And I'm African-American male. I have a disability you can't see currently, but I'm in a wheelchair and I use a wheelchair. I had a disability diagnosis in 2011, and ever since then, I've been passionately involved in the disability community.
Awesome. So Thabiso and I are going to talk to you a little bit about what we do here at the Hub. We used to be called Disability Linkage Line. So that's our old name. Some people might know us by that name, but now we go by Disability Hub MN, and we provide a safe, neutral, and reliable resource to help people with disabilities, also those that support people with disabilities and professionals, help them get connected to community resources, provide information regarding benefits, and help let a person know what options are there for them and help them kind of decide how they would like to live their best life. So we're going to go through and have a conversation about what we do here at the Hub, what a typical call might look like, and just some fun facts about who we are at the Hub. So let's start first. So if somebody was calling for the very first time to the Hub, what could they expect?
Yeah, that's a good question. So ideally or essentially, some of the basics when people call in, our phone number that you can call our phone number at 866-333-2466. And so when people call in, we have some automated prompts. And one thing is really helpful to know is that there's a moment there. If you have already spoken with, an options counselor or someone at Disability Hub MN, we can give you our extension number so you can put that in to get someone directly. But ideally, yeah, that we have some automatic prompts. It explains a little bit about our survey, and people have the option to complete the survey after the call. And that's always great because it kind of gives us feedback, show us what's going well and show us where we can improve if need be. And so, yeah, that's a really good feature that we have. As people call in to get information. So yep.
That's great. And you'll be potentially one of those people on the other end that's picking up that call, right?
Yes, always my pleasure to do those things. So
That's great. That's great. And also just as a reminder, for your first time, maybe you don't want to provide a whole lot of information. You can absolutely remain anonymous if that's something that you'd wish. So that's something that we can totally work with. And it's a live person that you're getting. You're not getting to a recording. You're not getting to a whole bunch of voicemail boxes that you have to look through. You're going to be talking to a live person like Thabiso or myself. So it's that's something that we pride ourselves on, is that we're a service that we're, human to human interaction. We're trying to help assist. So aside from, I know we talked a little bit about phone calls, but aside from phone calls, is there another way that people can reach out to the Hub?
yeah, definitely. So yeah, so you can call us. That's no problem. We have our working hours. You can also, we have a live chat, so you can chat with us, which is a great feature. We get a lot of people just don't necessarily want to call. They can just go access the chat from our website. And then, so outside of our regular hours, if people want to send us information or have a question that they don't necessarily want to forget the question, you can email us. So yeah, we have email. chat and our call service is the good ways to get a hold of us. And of course, you can always leave a voicemail. And so, if you ever, yeah, if at, just gotta say something to the hub, you can definitely leave us a voicemail. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. We
Mhm.
want to be available. So we do have people, or like Teresa was talking about our operating hours. We have people that are there from 8:30 to 5, actually live answering those chats or those phone calls. But if you have a question that's outside of those hours, emailing us and leaving a voicemail is a great way to just let us know that you have a question, and we are going to get back to you within usually 1 to 2 business days, to help answer that question and get connected. And we can connect with you in any way that you choose. You can choose a preferred method of contact. So if you'd like us to email you back, we can do that. If you'd like us to call you back, we can do that too. So we try to be available as much as possible for people. So that's how you might get a hold of us. But now we want to go through a little bit of like why you might want to get a hold of us, right? You know how, but why would someone be interested in talking to the hub? So what kind of things do we generally help with, to be so? What kind of things maybe on a day-to-day basis do we talk about?
Sure, yeah, I'll explain some basics. And of course, Lauren, I like this conversation. Feel free to chime in at any
Sure.
point. But yeah, a lot of the things that calls that I personally get in general that we get are revolved kind of around services that are available for people. Sometimes people need in-home services. Another one is like getting cash assistance, which is a good one. Sometimes people have things such as like Social Security, disability insurance, or just SSDI is another term, or SSD. Sometimes people call it that. And so there's different cash benefits people can call us about. There's things such as like housing support and just housing in general. We can help people navigate some of the different systems. And another thing that we like to do is kind of help people advocate for themselves. We're experts in terms of researching and finding resources, referrals, connected to lead agencies, which would be kind of like a county or like the Department of Human Services, Minnesota Department of Health, things, areas that we really pay a lot of attention to what's going on. Some of the current events and things that are going on, especially like even COVID information like that, we have some information that we get, and we pay a lot of attention to what types of resources are out there to help people get what they need to thrive. And to be independent is a big theme that we like to work with. But it's not just for people with disabilities. There's also family members who call us. There's people who are working with people with disabilities who can call us to kind of get information and answer questions. We are I like to or we like to think that we're a neutral service. So we're not necessarily on one side of the fence or the other. We just like to help people get the correct information. And sometimes there's so many different services that are available and provided through, for example, the Department of Human Services. And sometimes people are connected, they have medical assistance, and they have Medicare, and they have maybe a managed care like Medica, just to put all those Medicas in there. And so that stuff can get really confusing. So it's really nice to have a second head, maybe someone to listen, or someone who especially who knows how to find the right information. If we don't have the information, we're really good at getting to it as quickly as possible. And if we can't get it right away, we can always say, hey, I'm going to keep researching on this, and I'll get back to you via email, or can call you back, or schedule a time that we can reconnect and go over what information that we found to assist people. And another quick one I'll just say is sometimes it's calling different places such as Social Security and things like that. If people are having trouble connecting, we can assist. And like I said, it's kind of the theme is to help people be advocates for themselves, but it's good to have people who kind of specialize in different areas to help people out in those situations.
Oh, I totally agree. And I feel like a lot of what we do, revolves around, there's a lot of, there can be barriers to accessing things that can be helpful. And we understand that those barriers exist, and we try to work with people to figure out, ways around those barriers, or maybe other programs that exist, or other strengths or assets that they have in their own life that might help, make something happen. So we're just there, as a supportive entity to try to help people realize the goals and the dreams that they have, that where maybe they just don't have that knowledge about those programs, or they just don't quite understand, the ins and outs. We try to be there as a supportive person to help that person fight for what they're eligible for, what they would like to happen in their life. So we're just there to try to support. We don't have, like he said, we're neutral, so we don't have a really an agenda other than to help. That's our main
Mhm.
our main
Mhm.
goal in life, is to help people. So
Yeah, and on that note, even expanding a little bit in terms of what we can do, there are some people are like, how can I, I can't, I have a disability and I need hand controls for my car. I need to modify a vehicle. How can I get a parking tab or a parking tag, things like that, that are, it's hard to necessarily find information. You can give us a call and we can help you out with that. I've been helping someone recently finding like adaptive clothing and things like that. So just kind of out of the box thinking where, the provider, maybe the doctor or your specialist doesn't necessarily know where to find the resources. Yeah, give us a call. We'd be happy to help you out.
sure. We're a good starting point. If you're just like, I have no idea how to even get this thing that I need, we're a good sort of original point to start with, because we have a lot of expertise in a lot of different and variable areas, and we have time to spend on people, and on the questions that they have. So I feel like we're a good initial resource. And there's no wrong question for the hub. Obviously, we are willing to talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever's important for you to talk about, but we also are able to kind of have those connections with other agencies and get you connected with those places that might be the most appropriate resource. So a lot of times people will call and say, I don't really know why I'm calling, or I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking for, but I was told to call here. And then we'll kind of shoot from there, and we'll try to sort of start them on that process, start you on that journey of figuring out and solving that issue that you might be calling with. So we're a good initial resource, and there's no wrong question. We're not going to hang up on you and say no, or say, that's not our thing. We'll always be trying to get you connected and started.
Mhm.
So what are we like as a team, to be? So like, we've talked about what we do, but who are we?
Oh yeah, as a team. Oh, Disability Hub and my so I work here. I have some amazing colleagues. I guess one of the things that I really appreciate about working here at Disability Hub MN is I'm a person with diagnosed with a disability, a spinal cord injury, and definitely folks on staff and my colleagues also have different people have different diagnoses and different disabilities. Um, there's or people are family members of people with disabilities, and kind of within that realm, it takes, I think, for this type of work in the disability world. Um, it takes a certain amount of patience and compassion. I would say one of the big words that I really like that would describe our team is very compassionate. Uh, you know, um, yeah, very compassionate people
Yeah.
who, yeah, who are really there to help each other figure out. A lot of it is finding solutions to things that we just don't necessarily have answers to, or we don't know exactly where to go. So it's a very bright team of knowledgeable people, we kind of like to call ourselves experts in terms of finding resources. And it's talk about a group of people that can find resources super quick. That would be our team. And once again, it's also very friendly. And um, sometimes people are calling in and they've been talking to maybe 10 different agencies, or you know what I mean. It's like up to that many, and they've been on hold for hours, maybe working on a situation for months at a time. And so it's nice to be able to call someone who's, like, once again, she said neutral, and we're unique. And so it's really, yeah, um, another word that comes to mind is just dedicated people who are
Yes.
really happy to help others. That's what we do, is we're there to help kind of navigate different systems and find clarity to a lot of things and understanding. So they're just really clear-minded people who are there to help find and solutions, and sometimes solve some difficult issues that people are having as well. So
For sure. I really like how you said that. I mean, we're kind of passion and compassion are the two things that we have going for us in spades as an agency and as individuals. We really care about what we're doing, and we also understand how difficult. We know that when people call us, sometimes they have barriers that they're experiencing, and it is not the best day of their life. And we are here for you. We understand that these things can get complicated and frustrating, and we just want to be that person that's there to help support, help navigate, maybe make things just a little bit easier if we can. And really, we'll go to that sort of extra mile to try to find those resources that might not be as common, or try to really work with you to figure out, okay, what do we need to do in order to solve this problem, or to, remove some of these barriers. So yeah, passion and compassion are sort of our trade.
mm,
Um, and also the just the you mentioned the expertise, like we do, our initial training process is like 6 to 8 weeks of just straight training on these programs before we ever set foot on the phones or the chats. And then we just have ongoing trainings on a monthly basis about updates for all these programs. So we try to reach out and get that information about the new things that are going on. Like you mentioned before about COVID, we've had many trainings on the new COVID benefits, how those benefits might impact current benefits, because that was a big concern for people. So we try to make sure that our staff and us are as knowledgeable and up to date, and just that we can be as helpful as possible by being as knowledgeable and up to date as possible. So we're a group of caring experts, and we love to talk to people. So never feel nervous to call us. Where we love to talk. So
and
that's another
Laura,
thing. Sure.
yeah, and you mentioned also kind of breaking through barriers. Sometimes it's just a matter of, someone doesn't necessarily, English isn't their first language, and so we can, and the lead agencies don't have access to interpreters and things like that. And so we are able to, we can get an interpreter on the line. We have access to different interpreters for several different languages. And
Hmm.
so that's, that can help down. Sometimes it's just a matter of understanding and communicating, because English is not the first language. And so that's,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's so many different ways that we can just help people, really, to try and, my big thing is to help people understand what they're working with, and
Right.
get, it's you oftentimes we can sign up for different benefits and different programs, but we don't necessarily understand exactly what it is, or what it
Sure.
means, or what it
Sure.
provides, or how it works. And
Yes.
so we're there to, like I said, we spend our time um, trying to understand these different systems, so that we can help people navigate. It's really it's a beautiful thing
Absolutely.
that we get to experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, with all that in mind, what we work with, who we are, what would you say are some of the things that make us unique as a service? Why are we different than other services that might be around doing information and referral?
Sure. Yeah. So once again, kind of, one of the words that comes to mind is being neutral. We don't necessarily work for the Social Security Administration, or Department of Human Services and things like that. And so we are unique in the sense that that's oftentimes you have to deal directly with a place when you're trying to get information. And we're one of those, it's very rare to, I find that you can find a place where you can just call and have someone who's not necessarily, their interest is just helping the consumer, or the
Absolutely.
people who are calling, the family members, the caseworkers, the care workers, who just, they're often, oftentimes I get calls from care workers who are amazing at giving the care, but they don't necessarily understand the benefit, the thing, what
Sure.
administrative side of
Right,
things.
right.
There
The
we go.
nuts
That's
and bolts
the
of the
yeah, the nuts and
administrative
bolts.
side. Hmm.
Exactly, which can be important, and make a huge difference in terms of making, uh, decisions that will impact someone's life.
Yeah.
And so we're unique in that sense that we can, we can provide information and help people navigate, and we're not necessarily, I'm not like a case manager with a specific county that has a heavy caseload. And
Sure.
so, it's like, okay, you can give us a call and we can help you navigate to find resources, especially things
Yeah.
like housing, and
Yeah.
there, these things like, there's program HB 101 and things like that,
Yeah.
housing benefits
Yeah.
101 and things like that, that we can just
Absolutely.
help people, and explain things in simple ways too. The wording can be so complex sometimes, on
Oh,
on the
absolutely.
administrative side of things. And so it's nice to, all our training helps us kind of investigate, and understand the terminology. So then we can call, sometimes we can call agencies with people and say, okay, this is what someone is maybe looking for, and they didn't know exactly how to even, address what they're looking for. And
Sure.
so we can
Sure.
explain it in
Working a
in
little interpretation or translation of
ex, ex,
the jargon that exists in a lot of these benefit systems. We can kind of offer our services as understanding that, but also understanding how to explain that in a way that people who don't have a background in county benefits can access and understand what they're even asking for really sometimes.
mm-hmm. And once again, another huge thing for me is, in terms of being unique, is that we have people with disabilities on our staff and
Hmm.
are living a direct experience. And myself, for example, using a wheelchair and whatnot, I'm, yeah, living the direct experience as well. And so there's a deeper understanding, and then we communicate as colleagues about these things. And, there's a extra level of passion sometimes that comes into play,
Sure.
that we're allowed to have because of the nature of what we offer and what we do.
Hmm.
So.
And I think another like sort of unique resources that we have is time. Like you said, we don't have those caseloads of 40 to 100 people. Like we have the time to work one on one with the people and to
Mhm.
call out to some of these agencies that maybe you've reached out to in the past and have gotten sort of not so good or frustrating results where nothing got resolved. We oftentimes will take the time to call with you to Social Security, to the county, to wherever, to have that conversation with another set of ears to kind of help facilitate that process and move things forward. So we do, I think that's another thing that's unique. We don't tend to just provide a phone number and transfer. We help people know sort of what questions they might need to ask. Even sometimes you don't even know what questions to ask, or like we said with jargon, you don't know what terms you need to use in order to ask the question that you need. And so having us there on the line with you, sometimes we can bridge that gap a little bit and help, help you ask the questions and ask for what you're actually asking for in the terms of what the county understands. So it's our job to try to help get those facilitate those communications better, I think. And that's something that
Mm,
I don't think a lot of other services maybe help with. So
mhm,
that's another
mhm.
thing I think that's
Eh,
really unique.
Yeah, and it's also, one thing that I find that happens often is that we help people, um, kind of realize some other resources that are available that they wouldn't have found out about in the first place. For example, some people are on medical assistance, but they're working and their income is too high. And then we say, have you heard of like medical assistance for employed persons with disabilities,
Sure.
where you can work, and it has a different, income guidelines and things like that. So we help people actually oftentimes find out about services or benefits that they didn't even know about in the first
Sure.
place.
And then when
So.
we do get, questions where it's like we're really seeing a gap in services, a gap in the availability, maybe there's a real need for something and it's just not there, there's not services, we have the ability to provide that information, provide that data with like DHS and other agencies so that they know, that they're what those gaps out there in the community are. And really that's, the way that people can have their voice heard, and let us know and let those agencies know that there's a real need for this in the community, and it's not being addressed. And so we have that ability to provide that information as well, which is something that's a little bit unique, so that we can hopefully help make the landscape a little better if we can, address those needs and gaps that exist. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Is there anything else that you want anybody or others to know about the hub that we haven't already addressed? I know we've talked a lot about a lot of different factors, so I just wanted to see. I know we're running on time here, but
Yeah. One thing. Oh, we're called Disability Hub MN, which is
Mhm.
Disability Hub, Minnesota, and so
Yes.
we cover the whole state,
Okay.
which is a huge benefit for the state, and I feel honored to be able to work, across the different borders and the different lines of our state, different counties, and understanding, there like there's different managed care, which is like healthcare through a managed care organization. We can kind of find out what's available in certain counties and things like that. And so we aren't just limited to the Twin Cities or to the metro area. We cover, the whole state, which I think is just an amazing service that is provided. Kudos to the people that started this whole organization. It's really just a powerful source for people with disabilities, to really thrive and to get the access to information and resources. Um, Sometimes I have people call, I can't get a hold of my worker and things like that. And it's like, okay, let's just, one-on-one work on this, and how we can, or if you have family members or things like that, we can always, do like a three-way call if need be. That happens often, to just help people get information. That we're also connected with places such as like this, the senior linkage line is, there's kind of a lot of crossing networks and um, different. Yeah, we have a lot of people that are kind of in both communities at the same time, because people are aging. Another thing that I don't know if we discussed or got to was like people transitioning from youth to adulthood. That can be a huge transition for people with disabilities who've been getting benefits and they've been living at home, and now them and their parent, they're ready to, move forward in their lives and be more independent and move out on their own and try and get those resources. And then how does that, how does employment affect their benefits and things like that? And we are able to help people navigate that. And especially, it's really amazing to see people transitioning into being, adults and being more independent with their lives. And resources for education and things like that are, yeah, that's, I love helping people figure out, okay, this is maybe some options for next steps for you.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tabiso. So, we're going to kind of wrap up here, but I just wanted to remind you, as an agency, we are here. We work with all types of folks. So we work with people with disabilities, all disabilities. There's no limitations based on, eligibility. We work with people who support disabilities, as well as providers who provide services, and we are a free statewide resource. So we are absolutely 100% free, and you can call us anytime, chat with us on the phone, or email us. We are available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Otherwise, we will get back to you in the next business day. Our number is 1-866-333-2466. And you can find us on the website, www.disabilityhubmn.org. So thank you so much for being here, and we will look forward to seeing you next time.
yeah, have a good one,
Have
everybody.
a
Take
good one.
care.
Bye.
All right.